scent of long-leaf floated pine, reach up on past that Georgia line, stroll through Tallahassee town or southern Appalachia bound, take the local routes and journey down the roads we call our home.
Coming up on WFSU Public Media's Local Roots.
We live in a world where almost everything is connected with technology. We look at the growing need for people to make those connections happen. Plus, technology isn't just for adults. We explore how teachers are incorporating it into their classroom with some of their youngest students.
Yay! You did it!
And we give you a behind-the-scenes look at the kind of hurricane prep we do here at WFSU Public Media.
Local Roots is next on WFSU.
The local routes and journey down the roads we call our home.
Welcome to Local Roots. I'm Suzanne Smith with WFSU Public Media. And if you couldn't already tell from the heat, the afternoon rain showers, or the calendar, summer is here. Now behind me is Rudiger Elementary School, and school is officially out for the summer. Now there are summer camps all over the area going on, but for recent high school graduates, they're trying to focus on their future. They're trying to figure out what's next on their path to adulthood. Is it a job? Is it more school? Is it specialized training? WFSU's American Graduate Initiative helps kids connect with potential careers. One of the most needed skills in our area right now is related to information technology. WFSU's Mike Plummer takes a look at the cyber world we all now live in.
The internet touches the phone, the internet touches the computer, the network cabling touches the projector touches the video screen touches the laptop. So in our world today, all things technology either touch or have to communicate with each other. Businesses just don't want to own IT anymore. They want to concentrate on what their business actually does. You know, a law firm wants to practice law. They don't want to have to sit here and worry about all their technology infrastructure. A bank wants to do banking business. They want to be able to service and set up new accounts, provide loans. They don't want to be burdened with the responsibility of information technology. They'd much rather not own the problem anymore.
You've heard a lot about the STEM and STEAM initiatives. Well, really that's CTE, that's career and technical education. And so we're starting as a district here in Tallahassee to really look at how can we string programs along and articulate them from elementary school to middle to high school, and then even to continue on here at Lively or TCC or FSU or straight into the workforce.
Here in workforce development, we are solely kind of specific. Once again, our programs are geared towards specific in-demand careers. So we focus on our applied cybersecurity program, which focuses on the CompTIA Security Plus certification.
When a customer engages with Inspired, we basically become everything into their environment, from their chief information security officer, their chief information officer, their network security engineer, their systems administrator, the help desk, the field technician. We roll all those tool sets in so that the end user can say, or the customer can say, I'm covered.
They can take boot camps, they can get certified, they can get short-term certificates like what we offer here, and then get a job. Those industry certifications look great on your resume when you go to a specific employer, because they're looking for a specific skill set.
College is an option, but there's another option for non-college degree seeking students, where they can enter the workforce and make a very good living, and they never have to step foot on a college campus. It's all industry certifications, it's on-the-job training, and it's continuing education. And that model works in our managed services division, in our IT support division.
Vocational education is very much in high demand right now. We're seeing that from looking at regional occupational data as to where the jobs are, and to open the doors a little wider to parents who maybe had thought that, I don't really want my kid going to a vocational center or vocational school, just adding that one word college kind of makes it okay now. Because if you talk to a lot of parents and even a lot of students, they have been taught that their success is measured by the diploma hanging on their wall and that they have to go to college. When we look at where our jobs are, that's not where they all are. They don't all end in a bachelor's degree or master's or even an associate's degree. So the word college has allowed us to bring more people in our doors, to get more people to see what we do, and it's kind of okay now. So it's okay that I'm going to Lively, or it's okay that I'm going to, one of the other technical colleges across the state.
In that last story, Mike Plummer showed us some of the training opportunities in our community. There's also another growing trend that has its roots in history: apprenticeship. Mike continues his look at that world and shows us how people who are new to an industry can use this to learn and earn.
Because of the way that technology is utilized today, we're not really doing anything new. There's nothing really new underneath the sun. Things have gotten better. Things have gotten more, user-friendly. They've gotten, a little bit more robust. The computing power has increased, but the need for a human being to actually interact with those systems still exists. And because these systems are growing and becoming more complicated, the skill sets involved with that individual employee have grown. And what we have found is you can develop a business pipeline. You can have all of the new business coming in that you would want to maintain that level of service that your customers have grown to expect from you. You have to be able to match it and meet it with new and better talent. So how do you grow that talent?
I think apprenticeship is the way to build a trained workforce, period. It's the best way to build a skilled workforce. Because what you're doing is you're allowing an individual to learn a skill or trade and at the same time earn money. So that individual isn't having to give up 6 months, a year, 2 years to go to the college or even to come here, but they're out there learning it on the job. And what better training than learning as you're performing the tasks?
I would say 80% of our workforce can go through non-traditional education and actually come in here as an apprentice and learn this job. 80%. 20% require a college degree because the customer requires a college degree for that position or for that project. So therein lies the need for both a college trained workforce and a apprenticeship on-the-job training workforce.
So with Inspired, what we've done is we've developed an apprenticeship where the individuals are going to be coming in, that they'll make an application, they'll go through a screening process. Zach and his group over at Inspired will make the selections as to who comes in that apprenticeship, and they're going to be working on a laddered apprenticeship. So as they earn different credentials and they meet different steps, they'll keep moving up within Inspired in their industry. And so it may be that they come in and they earn, the basic CompTIA certification, which is kind of at the help desk level. And if that individual wants to continue moving up, they can keep going, to the next. There's a whole suite of CompTIA certifications. And the more they learn and pass those certifications, kind of the higher on the ladder that they get and the higher they can move up within that organization. Giving them all, a year, because they're going to be working full 40-hour weeks, to see how it is that they progress.
These students who are passionate about technology, well, let's educate them to what they're passionate about. If they want to be in IT, let them be in IT. Don't try to put them in something else that they don't want to be in.
From the business perspective, they're getting a better candidate. From the employee perspective, they're getting trained. They're getting a skill that they can use at the end of the apprenticeship. If it's set up as a 2-year, and with this one, it depends on how far they move up. Zach can either choose to keep that individual employed, or they're going to be able to leave there with recognized credentials and a recognized completion of an apprenticeship, which is similar to having your AA, that they can take and they can, that's recognized in their industry. So what we are striving to do is basically change that mindset model
get these students that are graduating career ready. Not next level of education ready, career ready.
American Graduate Getting to Work is made possible by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.
You can learn more about careers and training opportunities in our area and the American Graduate Initiative by going to gradstowork.wfsu.org. Technology isn't just for older kids and adults. It's being incorporated more and more into the everyday education process. Recently, WFSU's education team started a new program called Bites in Books. WFSU's Mike Plummer explores how it works.
On a Thursday morning in Wakulla County, a flock of preschoolers are gathering to have some fun. And although they don't know it yet, they'll be learning at the same time. This is Bites in Books, a mixture of media, storytelling, and hands-on activities to develop learning skills. This traveling education program is part of the PBS WFSU Public Media Ready to Learn initiative. It's currently available in Taylor, Jefferson, Wakulla, and Gadsden counties, and is made possible by partnerships with the Florida Diagnostics and Learning Resources System, the Early Learning Coalition of the Big Bend, and the parents of the Panhandle Information Network.
Bites in Books is a collaboration between Poppin, ELC, Fiddlers, and WFSU Education. And it takes different segments of what we're all good at. So we have a reading section, we have a video section, we have a hands-on section that specializes in increasing motor skills. We also have another activity that focuses on either STEM or color or pre-K centric focused educational standards that we try to hit.
Today's topic, birds.
So that's the amazing peregrine falcon in action.
It starts off with a popular PBS Kids program episode, followed by a feather hunt, where the kids match birds and feathers according to color. A book reading,
Birds can be yellow.
and a nest building activity.
I think it's really effective because it pulls in a book, it kind of features a book, and then we do a lot of supportive activities and very interactive activities to support the learning with that book. And then each child leaves with that book, so the family gets to reinforce those skills. And so hopefully, like this particular program featured building nests and birds, so hopefully when the kids go home, they're going to open up that book about birds and they're going to talk to their family about, oh, Mom, Dad, our grandma, I got to build this nest, and we learned all about different kind of birds, and maybe they'll extend that learning to outside, so they'll go outside and explore and look for a nest and learn about different kind of birds too, so that the learning continues.
This is the first year we've had to partner with WFSU and Poppin and Fiddlers, and it's been an amazing experience from the get-go. Very well organized. Students thoroughly enjoy the program. An engaging activity, combined literacy with hands-on learning, which is pretty much what our pre-K program is all about.
Teachers that I've spoken to like it a lot because primarily it gives them an opportunity, because a lot of these teachers are like overworked and they don't have a lot of time on their hands to do kind of these extra activities that they would want to do. And so allowing us to come in, kind of be the reinforcements, kind of show up once a month or once every other week and say, hey, we have these materials, we have these activities, we're here for your kids, and you get to be a part of it, and it's not a lot of pressure on you, and we can essentially just kind of neatly fit into your lesson plan and help them out and have them have a good time too, because they have a blast, whether it be making bird nests or having a dinosaur parade or whatever it may be. They have a great time, as well as being excited about the fact that a little bit of the pressure is being taken off of them for that day, and they have a moment to just sit down and breathe.
Every time I leave Bites and Books, I go back and I think, oh my goodness, this little one tugged on my dress and said, oh, I saw a bird's nest outside, and they really can build those connections, and that touches me so much.
at the Wakulla Education Center for WFSU Public Media. I'm Mike Plummer.
Education is a major part of the mission of WFSU Public Media. A program like Bites and Books is just one of many that our education department does with schools, parents, teachers, and kids. Right now, we're focused on summer. This month, we started a new summer camp tied to the PBS Kids program Ready, Jet, Go. And in July, we'll do another connected to math and the program Odd Squad. One of the reasons we continue to focus on education during the summer months is because kids can be affected by what's known as the summer slide. That's when they lose some of the skills and knowledge they gained in the last school year because their brains are not actively engaged during the summer months. So that's why WFSU has created the WFSU Public Media Alert Today Florida Summer Challenge. We had our official kickoff earlier this month. These are the passports students got that day. You can still sign up for the WFSU Public Media Alert Today Florida Summer Challenge. It goes on all summer and it's designed to work with a busy family schedule. So go to WFSU.org/summer challenge to get your passport and to register. Meanwhile, the Summer of Space is just getting started at WFSU Public Media. So here are a look at some of the programs coming soon to your TV and to your computer.
PBS brings you a Summer of Space.
Everybody felt they had a piece of it, and they did.
It all begins with the immersive film Chasing the Moon.
That's the first time I understood what it meant to smell fear.
It continues with Nova the Planets.
What we found was staggering.
The stunning dramatization of 8 days to the moon and back, and so much more. The PBS Summer of Space.
T-minus 4 minutes, 50 seconds, and counting. Skip Chauvin informing the astronauts.
That's the first time I understood what it meant to smell fear. Every single one of those 500 people was afraid that it would be their little gauge, their little valve that would go wrong.
Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Chasing the Moon really establishes the totality of the experience. It's telling this decade-long journey of not just what it took to land the man on a moon technically, but what the country was going through during that time.
I really wanted this story to really take the audience into the moment and have it be timeless. I wanted this film to appeal to a new generation.
Robert is an archaeologist when it comes to finding footage. He spent years searching archives around the world. This film really relies on a series of eyewitness accounts from a very diverse group of people. We're hearing about mission control from the woman in mission control, Poppy Northcutt.
I have a degree in mathematics, worked really hard and became a member of the technical staff and ended up assigned to work in the control center. I thought it was important that people understand that women can do these jobs, going into science, going into technology.
We made the decision to do these interviews audio only, in part so that we wouldn't distract from the story. Without the interruption of talking heads on camera, the viewer's completely immersed in the experience of the space race and the visuals, which are astounding. What I hope people will take away is that this was a grand ambition that was really hard, and it took everyone working together and not giving up to make it happen.
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
In addition to heat and humidity, there is another weather pattern that is very traditional for summer months: hurricanes. The main season kicked off June 1st, but WFSU staff has been preparing for these potential storms since long before that. In fact, during a storm, TV and radio team up to bring you the critical information you need as quickly as possible. In this next story, WFSU's Robbie Gaffney shows you the steps that WFSU takes to bring you the critical information you need in an emergency.
I'm Lynn Hatter. I'm the news director here at WFSU in Tallahassee. When we first get word that there's a possibility of a hurricane, we begin planning. We need to know what is the situation on the ground. We need to make sure that we have reporters in the places that they need to be.
If that holds, that will be the strongest storm that we have ever seen in this community.
We have a small staff that remains here at the station.
It's the top of the hour, and this is Tom Flanagan along with Lynn Hatter on WFSU, bringing you continuous live coverage of Hurricane Michael.
We send other reporters out to the Leon County Emergency Operations Center.
The eye of the storm, I know, is anticipated to be here in the next few hours, making landfall. Do you have anything, the latest on that?
And our reporting forces really allow us the best ability to cover the storm at hand.
Just as WFSU's news team is covering the storm from a local standpoint, our television production team is supporting the governor's office at the State Emergency Operations Center. I'm Paul Rotterdam, the TV production manager for WFSU Public Media. When the Emergency Operations Center gets elevated to a heightened state of activation, we become on call to support them.
We're also thankfully not seeing any widespread fuel shortages or outages.
When a hurricane hits, what we do is make sure that we have our generators full of fuel, and we support by making sure that when the governor needs to go up on the satellite to give the status of the hurricane, we put him up on the satellite.
So a producer and a technical director will go to the State Emergency Operations Center, and that video and audio signal of the governor doing a briefing.
Let me be clear. Hurricane Michael is a monstrous storm.
We transmit it to a satellite where national and local news agencies can pull that feed down and broadcast it live. We also send that stream or that video feed to the Florida channel. The Florida channel also goes via satellite to public education and government channels throughout the state of Florida. We send that audio of those briefings to our WFSU radio team, and from there it goes to the Florida Public Radio Emergency Network.
If you have been told to evacuate, your time is running out to get to high ground.
The Florida Public Radio Emergency Network is a collective of 13 public radio stations throughout the state of Florida. We send them updates from the State Emergency Operations Center in Tallahassee. We also receive content from them. They then take the audio and provide that content back to stations to broadcast.
I know what it's like to go through a major storm. I went through Hurricane Andrew down in Miami. I understand how critical it is to get emergency information to the public, not only before the storm, but also after the storm. People need to know, is it okay to drink the water? They need to know, where can they go to get food? Is the Red Cross coming into town? Where are the insurance agencies going to be? They got to get all this kind of critical information, and PBS and NPR, we help provide that critical information to the public.
Remnants of the storm remain in the form of some strong winds and heavy rainfall, at least in the Tallahassee and surrounding area.
One of the things that we have learned over the years is that people want to hear voices that are calm and reassuring to help guide them through the unknown. When hurricanes hit, as we found with Hurricane Michael, often you have mass devastation, often your cell phones go down, often your TV stations go offline, but the one thing that is always resilient is radio. And so I just want to say to our listeners that WFSU will be here for you. As that storm event is coming, and even as it goes, we will be here.
Before a storm hits, remember to get fresh batteries in your radio and set your dial to WFSU FM 88.9. Also, charge those phones and follow us on Facebook and Twitter for additional updates.
That's it for this episode of Local Roots. I'm Suzanne Smith at Rudiger Elementary School in Leon County. If you'd like to see any of the stories in the show again or past episodes, check out our website, wfsu.org/localroots. And while you're online, follow us on Facebook. For everyone at WFSU Public Media, have a great summer, everyone.
Magnolia trees greet the southern breeze in the land where rivers wind. Seeds that spring up from the past leave us treasures yet to find. Where our children play along the land our fathers build with honest hands. Take a moment now and look around the paradise we have found. Take the Lord